No, I am not here to talk about new features in the artificial intelligence generated video market. There, I said it this time. How many takes has it taken to get that right? I'm here to talk about improved features. The website that I've been using, Colossyan, has implemented new updates to their script to prompt to video feature. Let me put the screenshot of it up here so you can see this is their advertising promo for the features. They have added features where instead of just simply typing a prompt and having only that one bit of input, they now say you can specify the tone, provide details, specify the audience, set the length, and create a persona for the presenter and set a goal. Here's a screenshot of what the screen looks like when you first get to it. You're prompted to simply give one text prompt, but at the bottom there's more specifications that you can add with all these other things that are talking about being able to add to your prompt. And note the disclaimer at the bottom. Only your prompt is sent to our third-party AI provider. We do not and will not permit third parties to use your content or customer data to improve or train their AI models. Which is kind of a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, I would want my use of an AI program to help it learn how to do better. But on the other hand, I appreciate the not wanting my customer data to be given to the AI program, because it would thoughtlessly just disseminate it as it chose it, randomly, and without permission sometimes. Because that's one of the big problems with AI stuff right now is the copyright violation issues that, if my copyrighted stuff gets used by an AI chatbot, and then someone else tries to make money off of that product, then they're violating my copyright protection on my copyrighted material. Because I do have copyrighted material out there in the world. This book is copyrighted. So if any AI chatbot uses copyrighted material from my book, then whoever uses that AI generated material will be violating my copyright protection. And they'll be in court fighting against me because the AI chatbot just didn't care and is not going to be held responsible. So you got to be careful with this stuff. But anyway, I tried out this feature. The first video that I did, I thought I need to do something that I know a lot about and see if I can tell whether or not it fucks it up, basically. And so I told it to make a video talking about Deep Purple, the history of Deep Purple, and it came up with a short video talking about what happened when they tried to record Machine Head and some of the more popularly known details about the events surrounding their recording of it. It grazed over a lot of really important details because it's the how can you possibly not be able to tell the whole story? The song tells you the whole damn story. Smoke on the Water is literally a history song. So how can you not know all the details? But also I've mentioned that I had to be a music historian, and it just kept going back of mentioning that it was a music historian telling the story. I'm like, that's just too pompous. So anyway, I deleted that one. I did another one that was not factual or historical content that I just said, what about Anti-Corporate Rants? And the thing that came up was interesting and amusing because it was a very in-depth and coherent argument about Anti-Corporate Rants, but it sounded very professional. It's like, the irony's not lost on me that it sounds very corporate for being something that's anti-corporate. Anyway, let me present it to you. I'm not going to upload it separately. I just wanted to share it with you real quick. So here it is.
In today's world, corporate cultures both dominate and dictate the way we live and think. Unfortunately, many of them emphasize values that are not conducive to a healthy lifestyle, such as consumerism and greed. The unfortunate truth is that the environment around us encourages us to think like corporations, and it is essential to push back against that. Anti-Corporate Rants highlights the need to resist these dominant ideals and reclaim our lives. One of the most annoying aspects about corporate communication is the way they obscure their intentions with convoluted, jargon-laden language that obscures the truth. Their use of buzzwords adds a political spin to the language, which further reinforces their agenda, so it is essential to call out this usage in your anti-corporate rants. Make sure you emphasize negative aspects such as bureaucracy and close-minded thinking when engaging in your rants. It is essential to remember that corporate culture has a monopoly on our lives. From what we wear and what we eat to what magazines we read, these corporations dictate a huge part of our lives, and it is essential to push back against that. Ask yourself in your ranting, how can individuals reclaim some power, and call out corporations when their behavior is detrimental? Push hard against the narrative they present with their spin and manipulation, and don't be afraid to criticize their tenets. When railing against corporate ideals, it is essential to be passionate about it and let the company know how you feel. Pull no punches when expressing yourself and showing how much you detest the system. The more you can drive home your disdain, the better your diatribe will be. Don't be afraid to name names and call out corporations on their bad behavior. Although railing against corporations is vital, it is also essential to think about possible solutions to the problems they present. Rather than simply pointing out their offensive actions, think of ways to resolve them. Maybe you can propose alternative, healthier lifestyles that are more sustainable and are more conducive to an enjoyable life. While railing is important, it won't be effective without the right solutions as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, but it's very corporate. Anyway, the other video that I did, I uploaded it already. It's one about Devo, the band, and I did that one because I wanted to check with HeyGen's feature for talking photos, where you can just upload a picture and then write a script for a video featuring that picture, and the picture will do the talking. It animates the mouth of that picture. And I said, I want to challenge it. I want to see if I can give it some pictures that are very tough to work with. So I started with the heavy makeup face from Freedom of Choice, and I grabbed the famous profile picture of Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo's Whip It, and then I got several other good profile pics from of Mark Mothersbaugh from other times, and two of them extremely didn't work, and I don't get why. Maybe it's because the whole face wasn't featured in the image, but all the rest of them, it did really quite well. I was surprised. The one of his profile in the Whip It video, it really looked convincing. It was very nicely done. I was surprised. Here's a card, a pointer to that video. It's just the most recent one that I've done before this. So you'll be able to find it pretty easy, but I don't want to include it here. Here's pictures that I used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Well, I added them after in post-production, so you can point to the space where they are, but they're not there yet for me talking, but when you see it, they'll be there. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, it was amusing and a little bit disconcerting at how well it did. But again, as I said, the irony of a corporate-sounding presentation talking about anti-corporate rants was very, very interesting and kind of amusing once I really stopped and looked at it. Because I was looking at the presentation. I didn't do any editing on that one. The only thing I did was I added the big red X over the woman's face in the middle of the video. Everything else, just strictly what the computer came up with. There weren't really any grammatical errors in it. There weren't really any sentence structure oddities. So, it did very nicely. But I just wanted to present that real quick and not make it a standalone thing, unexplained, because I'm really not that proud of it. I just found it interesting. The Devo one was a bit frustrating because I had to shave the time down because not being a paying customer at HeyGen, I was only allowed to do videos a minute long. So even though I had a lot to say, I had to shave it down so that for the time. So the video part of it had all the text that I wanted to say, but the speaking presenter part had to be very brief. So yeah, that one was kind of frustrating and non-productive. I wonder if I could do that at Colossyan. I'm not sure that I can. Because I would want to use Mark Mothersbaugh's face for the presenter. And I don't know that... I'm using a basic account at Colossyan. It's not a high-paying, enterprise account. I think that's one thing that I'm finding weird. It's a lot of the websites that I'm finding are mostly corporate-directed websites. This Colossyan is intended to be used by corporations to create training or promotional videos. So it's intended for a corporate audience. And I think that's what I'm finding to be obtusely one-sided about it. Its voice is specifically corporate. And that's why this anti-corporate rants thing is so ironic. I think it's just kind of funny. And you can specify the tone here. I said comic, and it didn't do comic.